So Pokemon's new sets, Black Bolt and White Flare, are just a few weeks away from their official release. And of course, there are people out there that have the product early. So today we're going to be looking at drop rates for the IRs, SIRs, and the new rarity, the BWRs. So let's get to it. All right, what's up, guys? Welcome back to another video. Like always, like, comment, subscribe. Yeah, man, let's get into it. We're going to be looking at a recording from last night. I was recording a Whatnot streamer. He was a rip and shipper. Of course, he had a Black Bull and White Flare early. I was lucky enough to have a conversation with him during his stream after I recorded this video, and he was at least able to let me know what his drop rates were like for him. All right, so let's start playing the video. And the reason I say the drop rates for him is because we have clear batching issues when it comes to Pokemon products. We all know that, for example, Crown Zenith has hits in abundance, right? But I've opened a CN Skybox that comes with, what is it? I think it's 12 packs in it, and I've opened a Regieleki pack that had another 4, and I got like almost no hits in those 16 packs. It's just my experience. I've had the same issue with 151, even though 151 drop rates are supposed to be really good. I've had the same issue with that at certain times. So batching is an issue. So after having this conversation with this guy right here, he said he's opened up about 2,000 packs. And within those 2,000 packs are both the Black Bolt and White Flare combined, and he's opening 2 at a time. That's how he's auctioning them off. And so I could only assume that it's 1,000 Black Bolt and 1,000 White Flare. And he said he's pulled 2 black white rares from it. So he's pulled 2 Reshiram and 2 Zekrom BWR rares, which are the full white Reshiram and the full black Zekrom. He's pulled 3 in 2,000. It would be 2 in the the Black Bolt and 1 in the White Flare. I don't know if I'm mixing that up, but regardless, it's 2 for each set. I mean, 1 for one set and 1 for the other. And so it seems like if we do combine them, which they should be pretty similar, because even though they're 2 separate sets, they're kind of like made very similar when it comes to how they're batching them, at least, and then the amount of IRs they have, the amount of SIRs. They each have 1 black white rare. It seems like for him, if we combine the 2 and it's 2,000, it's 1 in every about 650 to 700 packs for the black white rares, which actually that's a lot. Just to get one of those cards, those are a lot of packs. If you think about how much you would have to pay, how much product you'd have to buy, that's a lot. Aside from that, there's the red Victini in these sets right here, and it seems like he had not pulled 1 in those 2,000 packs. So that the drop rate for that Victini, that's a big question mark. I'm pretty sure other people have already pulled it somewhere. I haven't seen it myself. That's got to be a really hard card to pull. These cards are going to have a decent value to them because they're so hard to pull. Not only that, they're really nice. The black white rares are really nice, so they're probably going to have a decent price point to them. But aside from that, the SIRs, he claims that they're about 1 in every 60. I didn't even see him pull 1 SIR here, but he said they're about 1 in every 60. The IRs are actually being pulled left and right, sometimes in 1 in every 4 packs, sometimes 1 in every 8 from what we're seeing here. The EXs are just everywhere. They're everywhere. They're like 1 in 2 packs. It's insane. The drop rate here is pretty high, I would say. For cards like the EXs and SIRs. I think 1 in 60 packs for the SIRs, that's not bad either. Obviously when you try to pull a specific SIR, the drop rate becomes much lower because these are obviously random. That's a given. But yeah, guys, I think the drop rates are not bad. They're not bad. In reality, they're actually pretty similar to Prismatic. The only difference is that Prismatic just had Pokeballs and Master Balls to replace those IRs, and people weren't really happy with it, but that's what it was. So in reality, you would pull Master Balls and Pokeballs all over the place, and they're supposed to be considered hits. Some people didn't consider them hits because they didn't have an illustration. And I know we've fallen in love with illustrations, but that's what it was. But once again, in this set, you're going to have an abundance of IRs, and they're going to definitely cushion the blow when it comes to the realization that really you're going to get when you see that you're going to have a really hard time pulling the black white rares. But yeah, guys, they also have Pokeballs and Master Balls here. And one thing that was interesting was that they kind of shied away from that design when it came to the prismatic one, where it had that big hollow Pokeball and Master Ball in the middle of the card. Now they actually have the design they had on the Japanese 151, where they had a whole bunch of little Pokeballs all over the place, and the same with the Master Balls. That's the kind of design you'll see here. But yeah, once again, the IRs are in abundance. They're everywhere. We're definitely going to enjoy ripping these packs. I think that it's gonna feel good to open them. You know, you're gonna get something in almost every few packs, and it's gonna feel good, as opposed to prismatic when we all wanted the SIRs and didn't get any. And you can see actually the hollow pattern as well on the rares, the regular rares, and the the hollow energies. They got those new streaks going from left to right. They're actually nice. It's cool. It's nice to have something different. I like when sets have something that just indicate that they're from that set. It makes them just different. It makes them their own, you know. And I actually do like that Pokemon does things like that. But yeah, guys, the drop rates are not bad. We're all gonna want the black white rares. We always want the top hits. It's just a thing that we all do. We all want the top hits. We all want these black white rares. It's just, I know it's gonna be a thing. I know some people are gonna have a problem with it because they want to say they like all the cards, but it's just true. You know, you're gonna feel left out when you don't have one of these cards, and I think that most of us aren't gonna have them. That Victini seems to be really, really, really hard to get. I have a feeling that the black white rares are gonna be worth like $500. The Japanese are not worth that much. They're not at that $500 price point. I just think that they are. The way that the hobby is going right now, with the amount of hype that we have, I think that they're going to be like $500 each. I don't know what to even think that they're going to be worth at a PSA 10. That Victini might be worth more than the black white rares because of rarity. But when it comes to design, it definitely lacks in comparison to the Reshiram and the Zekrom. It's all going to depend on people in the market. It's going to depend on what we decide to spend our money on and how we decide to spend it. Are we going to value the Victini more than the Reshiram and the Zekrom? I don't know. People till this day surprise me. They're willing to pay for something that's scarce over something that they actually enjoy that's also scarce. But the Victini might be even more scarce than the white Reshiram and the black Zekrom, and that may drive people to pay more money for it, just because it's so much harder to get. But I don't know. I feel like if it was my personal thing, I would still pay more for the white or black Reshiram and Zekrom over the Victini, even if the Victini is a bit harder to get, because I actually enjoy having these cards. They're like beautiful. They are beautiful cards. I don't think the Victini looks that great whatsoever. The red glare looks nice, but the Victini design itself, I don't think it's that amazing. But yeah, we'll have to see what the market does, which is the people. You know, what are they going to spend their money on? How they're going to spend it? That's going to be a whole different thing right there. It's like a whole other topic, trying to understand how people wrap their minds around these things. And another thing is what people are willing to pay. You know, most of the guys here that you're watching are willing to pay somewhere from $12 to $15 per pack, which obviously also drives the market price up for all of this. This is like really what determines it. People being FOMOing, maybe, I guess you could say, or just willing to pay 3 times MSRP to get something early. And it's not even early, because they're going to do it after release. Things are going to cool down a little bit because things are finally going to be out and they're going to have it in hand. But eventually people get their ETBs, whatever they got, they rip them and they want more. So they still come back to places like Whatnot and other rip and shippers, and they'll overpay to 3 times MSRP. It'll be either whatever the rip and shipper has as a set price, or whatever they're willing to auction this product at. So that's a lot. we have to really see what's going to happen. But the drop rates, like I said, once again, they're pretty good. IRs are within 1 every 4 or 8 packs. I don't know, it's a lot. I feel like I'm seeing IRs left and right here, like it just keep dropping. EXs are in like a Pokeball right there. EXs are in like every 2 packs. It's insane. I haven't experienced this with any other set, like aside from maybe Paldean Fates, I would say. It's almost like a combination of Paldean Fates and Crown Zenith. Instead of shinies, you're getting Pokeballs and Master Balls, and you're getting a ton of IRs. So I think I see where Pokemon is going here. They're definitely trying to improve their product. They're trying to satisfy everyone. I think they know they upset a lot of people with Prismatic. I think that Prismatic upset a lot of people. I mean, I was upset ripping it. That's why I stopped ripping it. At 140 packs of Prismatic is what I opened, or 140 something, and I didn't get 1 SIR. I kept trying and trying, whether it didn't matter where I got it from. Target, the Pokemon Center, card shop, a local card shop around here. Of course, that meant that I paid above MSRP just to rip these packs, and I didn't have the luck I was hoping for. My fiance still wants to rip. She still wants to get her first SIR, and that 140 packs, it's the both of us combined, and she still wants to get her first, or our first SIR. We haven't had that. Like, we don't even know the feeling of what it is to pull an SIR from Prismatic, and she's determined to get one. And also a God pack as well. Who wouldn't want to experience a God pack? But yeah, guys, I would say the higher valued cards in this set aren't going to be really easy to get. Again, another IR. Cool looking cards though. They do look nice. I can't wait to have some of this in my hand. They do look real nice. I'm not gonna lie, they do look nice. I think we're gonna have a great time ripping these packs. But SIRs look real nice. I do want that Kyurem. I'm not gonna lie. I think Kyurem is underrated. Everybody goes right to the Reshiram and Zekrom, but that Kyurem, man, whoo, that's a nice card. I do like it. I'm not gonna lie. You know, it's worked its way up on me. Like it's definitely creeped up in my mind. It's just the more I see it, the more I like it. The Zekrom and Reshiram SIRs are pretty cool too. I think the Reshiram looks way better than the Zekrom one. The Zekrom one, the darkness in it makes it look a little dull in the image, but we'll also have to see what it looks like in hand. But yeah, I don't know, guys. Drop rates look great. Once again, this is why we're really here for. And I don't know. I think we're going to be having a great time ripping these packs. And I hope that you guys have great luck with these packs as well. We all, like I said, we all want the best cards in the set. But yeah, guys, that's it for this video. I'll see you guys in the next one. Stay safe out there. Peace.